Homelander's at it again, sipping milk. Spoilers up ahead. Welcome back to AsArt with Nick and Chris. This is my special guest today. Today we're going to be talking about The Boys Season 3 Episode 7. And there's a lot of cool stuff going on here, from parallels to funny stuff to even cartoon flashbacks. So we're going to have so much fun jumping into this. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. We cover tons of shows from Westworld to Raised by Wolves, Netflix, Stranger Things. I mean, you name it, we're trying to cover it. So subscribe to stay updated with everything. Chris, The Boys is back. This is right after the Hero-gasm episode.
Yes. Which was a shocker. Which
happens in the comic book. That's like a thing in the comic book. Oh. It's like the heroes go to this like orgy fest thing, and it was like really cool to see that they brought it in. I'm not a comic book expert, so I'm not 100%.
It was a big deal because Frenchie kept talking about how he was so upset that he missed out on it.
Yes.
like what?
He's such a good character. I love all the characters in this show.
Oh yeah.
And there's some major scenes, or not themes, going on here, like father-son themes, right? Yeah. We have it with Butcher in this episode with the flashback. We have it with Homelander too. We have it with the Homelander, and we kind of have it with some other characters too. We have that, and then we also just have flashbacks in general. It's like a realistic flashbacks to cartoon flashbacks, so it's a really good. It's not like an episode like last week. Like last week was so good because we got the fight scene, we got all this stuff. There was still good action in this, but it wasn't as good as last week. But it was still a very strong episode.
Yeah, a lot of story development, which I really thought it was crucial. Like I think that this show encapsulates so much of not only an entertainment value with all the excitement, but the story is not bad either. Like, and I think the writers are pretty good. Like what you mentioned with the connections, I really enjoy the fact that they like to intertwine everything and bring things back. Like I love that about this show.
Yes,
I absolutely love it. Yeah.
And okay, so we're gonna jump into some fun things here. I have a little notepad. One thing, the song "Dream a Little Dream with Me," I just thought was fun because they used that in Stranger Things recently too. So I was like, oh, these two popular shows happening and they're playing the same song. I just thought that was very interesting. And then I really want to talk about the Black Noir flashbacks. So he's in like a abandoned Chuck E. Cheese stage area, which we saw commercials for in like, teasers and stuff like that, like this Chuck E. Cheese things. We got like a Porky Pig characters like, do this, fun stuff going on here. But I was just curious to get your take on it.
At first I didn't like it. At first I thought like, I mean, I knew he was going through some psychological mindset, but to me, Black Noir comes off like how they portray him is such a hard-nosed, straight edge kind of character. And I like the fact that they add some vulnerability to it, right? Because everybody's vulnerable in some respects. Like every great villain does have a little bit of vulnerability to them that makes them human, not just like so it kind of grounds him. But it was so shocking that they made it so childish. But nothing from The Boys shocks me anymore. Like nothing from The Boys shocks me anymore. But it's so dichotomous from his stoic demeanor to like, of course the most stoic character has the most childish inner workings.
I mean, I think it has to do with brain damage, though.
I was going to say the same thing. Oh, wait, is he missing part of his brain?
He's missing part of his brain, yeah. I think that's like part of the thing, right? He's missing part of his brain. He got beat up so bad where it's like, he's in that arrested development stage. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, he's like not really progressing at all. And it's just like he's like reverted back to his childlike state of mind kind of thing, and as it is, he like when he lost part of that brain, that's why he can't speak and communicate. That's why he's so silent and stuff like that. So it so like that's like part of the character thing. And I just was
is that the comic books? Is that in the comic books as well?
I think that's what's part of the show, and it might be part of the because in the comic books
he's a copy of Homelander.
Yes, in the comic book, he's a clone of Homelander. Yeah. So yes, spoiler, and just in case if you guys didn't know, but and then in the comic books, spoiler too, this happened just because it came up in this episode. Uh, Homelander is a clone of Stormfront. So in the comic book, Stormfront is a dude. It's not a chick like they did in the show. So that's where the clone comes from. But so they're kind of doing something similar to that with, Soldier Boy being his dad. So it's like, instead it's like, oh, he's his dad instead of a clone and stuff like that.
And do you think because Homelander says it, and I think it was last week's episode, that he was made in a lab.
Yeah.
But and then in this episode, Soldier Boy said he jacked
into
off a cup. So was it biological in nature, or was it completely lab grown?
Oh, it's totally lab grown. Yeah,
you think it lab grown? And do you think that Vought stole the cup, or do you think Soldier willingly gave it?
Well, I think it was probably used as like a health thing, and it wasn't like his consent. Like, we're gonna make a child out of this kind of thing.
Like, so he was oblivious to the fact that they're gonna use it. Yeah, that was.
And it was so interesting too, because in this episode, Homelander basically threatened Queen Maeve with her eggs. The same thing. And so, which was like, oh, that's a really good parallel going on there, kind of thing. So
yeah.
And then what else? I had so many fun notes in here. Obviously, Soldier Boy or Homelander's is Soldier Boy's son. Just in case we haven't mentioned that, I'm pretty sure we mentioned that. And then we got some very interesting news of the Compound V. So we, for not the lifetime one, but we know it lasts for 24 hours, which is like a very addictive drug. If you're high for 24 hours, that's very addictive. But if you have more than 3, you risk the chance of like your brain melting and dying. And we're already seeing blood in the ear in our characters and stuff like that too. So.
Well, one thing that again, it's one of those things where The Boys does it, and I'm okay with it because I love the show. But I think it was so stupid how easy it was for Starlight to break into Vought, and like literally the lab was just like it was like a fridge, like no lock. Yep. There wasn't even a lock on the fridge, and she just goes over there, grabs some Compound V, and then the notes are on the desk written on paper, like not even like. Files are stored in computers nowadays, but no, you like literally write the keys to everything on a piece of paper. I was like, dude, that is so dumb, but it's The Boys, so I ran with it.
It may be a really old scientist that works there, and maybe he doesn't like computer stuff. Maybe he's into writing pencil stuff, and maybe he doesn't like keys, so he doesn't like to lock doors. It kind of makes sense because Queen Maeve gets it so easily too.
Yeah, but they don't show anything, so we don't know her.
Yeah, it's true. You have to show it. Yeah, exactly.
I'm could be assuming. Yeah, but she just walks in there and grabs it. I was like, why don't more people just go in there and grab it?
Maybe there are more people.
Like I just found out too easy, and I didn't like it. I did find interesting, and I'm not sure if you're gonna speak on it. The fact that Frenchie's relationship is kind of growing into something different now, and I'm actually glad that they took it that way from actually possibly being a physical relationship to something being platonic. Meaning, and she says, oh, this is family, bigger than family. I love you more like family, and she's choosing to get Compound V. I really like that because I wasn't sure, even though I thought it was sweet to potentially have them have a relationship, I actually enjoy the fact that they left it out of it. They left the love aspect out of it because it keeps things, I think it's stronger without it.
Yeah, I thought that was good. It was a very Fast and Furious, right?
Yeah.
Family.
Yeah, family. Yeah, family. I love that. I love that.
Yeah, no, it was good. No, I like that too. And I also like too, she didn't go into a daydream sequence. Because now it's like real life. She's like, no, this, I want to, like, it's like her but she's like, this is what I need to do. And she gets shot up and she gets healed. And I'm curious if that would fix if Butcher and Huey, if they were to take the drug so they have powers full time, would that cure their brain of being mush because they may get some slight ability of healing power? So
my idea behind that is I actually think my theory, and I don't know what's going to happen, is I feel like Butcher does have a slight change of heart. I sense like he does, because he's been through that traumatic experience and maybe he kept it in the closet, and right now it really does seem like it came and affected him.
Mm.
As much as he tries to be this strong character, I think he's gonna lie to Huey, just so Huey's gonna maintain the relationship and help him out on his overall goal. But when it comes down to it and getting the temporary V, what's it called?
Compound V or
No, temporary one.
24-hour V.
Yeah, the 24-hour V, whatever you want to call it. I forgot the name of it.
Quick V.
Yeah, when it comes to it, I think Butcher would be willing to take it, the temporary, to save his life, and that Huey's not going to take it. Or if Huey does accidentally like get a hold of it or steals it again and does take it, I think Starlight is actually gonna like shoot him up with Compound V, like you're saying, to heal him. Because if yeah, because Huey, it seems like Huey is addicted.
Yeah. No,
you know what
most
I mean?
definitely.
He's addicted.
Yeah, and it's a trip too, because they even explained like when she was like, "Yeah, your arms are like noodles," when I had power, but now I can actually feel. It's like, well, I know it's like a dig, but it was fun. And then we know Maeve is alive. Queen Maeve is alive, which was really cool this episode because we didn't know where she was and stuff like that. And because of the live stream that went out too, they were trying to spin everything too through the news, like, oh, she's trafficking children. It's like, oh my gosh, the stuff they spin. And it's scary too, because I like how real this is to our modern times too. When it comes to like certain things, I think even when something was happening, I think it reminded me of even something that Trump said too, when he was like, it was just like, oh, when he pointed at the cameras, he's like, see the media here, like I'm like, didn't Trump do that during his thing too? I'm like, this is very like, what's happening?
The Homelander rally, they were mimicking, the previous administration, 100%.
And it was go ahead.
Yeah. Even the writing on the future president, even the writing, if you notice, his logo is similar. Not to get into politics, but
no, but and they're doing that. Even the intro of not this episode, but the episode before, it was making fun of the celebrities when they were singing "Imagine All the People," because that happened in real life during the. I think Gal Gadot did that, and then they're doing a great job with bringing in modern times into the show. Is that the best way to put it?
No, I really enjoy it. One thing that I found interesting, along with the fact that Butcher, like, a lot of because I personally believe that Butcher's having a change of heart. That character that was able to put him back,
Mindstorm,
or Mind Gaze, whatever. I was wondering, like, do you he's dead now, but that's an interesting trip because there's no way to break out of it, apparently.
Yeah, and because you starved to death.
Nobody knows how to break out of it. Like, he could be potentially, if he had survived, he could have been a super powerful villain. Like, because he could take down anyone. If he can
or a hero. We don't. He could be the hero to take out Homelander, put him in a coma where no one loves him or something. He gets all pissed.
For sure, but like, if you knew his power, like, why wouldn't Butcher? I was like, why would, like, screw this soldier boy? Just take him, because he's more inconspicuous. Yeah. Take him straight to Homelander, put him in a gaze, and then
an idea gone.
Yeah, right.
Shot down. Theory shot down, but it made for a great scene with the priest and the nun, where he was like, no, they're homeless people, and seeing the nun jump on so he's like, shoot her.
Yeah, that was great scene.
It was fun too, because they're like playing on Soldier Boy's kind of losing it. But then, like, it was justified there, like, he wasn't losing it, but he's still hearing voices and stuff like that. So there's definitely something going on with his character too, like, if he's really in the right state of mind, kind of thing. Or even if he's crazy enough too, where he's acting like, hey, we're gonna team up, Homelander, and he's gonna try tricking him too, because he still wants to be on top and number one. Stuff.
How would he? My thing is, how would Homelander and Soldier Boy not team up at this point? Because Soldier Boy's overall goal now is to get everybody that screwed him over.
Yeah.
And it all stems from when the guy with the visions. It all stems from Vought.
Mm-hmm.
He finds out Noir, but then it all stems from Vought. So now Vought is going to be on his kill list, like, you take him down, and so wouldn't.
I think the only thing that would. So Homelander's greatest weakness is his public appeal to people, right?
Yeah.
Because like I honestly don't think he would even go full crazy and destroy the world because he longs for the
Attention.
acknowledgement from people and from the audience and stuff. Like even when uh she was filming him with the live stream, like
Oh,
when she
yeah.
walked into the elevator, right away he switched to, oh, those lines we were going over, for the show. Or, it's like, that was great. He wants the approval of the public so badly, where if Soldier Boy's going around killing people and it's going to be bad,
Publicity.
publicity, he's probably not going to want a part of that because he wants to be on the other end of it. He wants to be the golden child. He wants to be loved by everyone. He wants to drink the milk of the masses.
Yeah, that's.
He loves his milk, man.
I'm glad that they actually brought that back because I thought that was a pretty comedic relief right there,
Mm,
where he goes like right after that scene, he goes to the barn, and
I
I was
know.
like,
He's like,
oh,
his
that was
happy place.
yeah, that like because I don't think we saw him drinking milk since season one, right? I think
Season two, I remember him
yeah,
like I think in season two he did a milk spree. He like he went into the office where the old milk was, and he like was started
oh,
drinking from like the little like milk bottles and stuff like
oh,
that.
oh, okay,
And
yeah. Oh,
and then what's interesting too, I thought they did a good job of so it makes sense that Soldier Boy would betray Butcher and Huey
yeah,
because he doesn't trust teams, and when
yeah,
that was the whole flashback of Black
like
Noir where his team betrayed him and sold him out, kind of thing.
yeah.
And so it's one of those things like once he sees there's a little bit of stuff going on with Huey, it's like he made that decision like, oh, I can't trust these guys. I'm gonna try flipping the switch, kind of thing. That's also what makes me think that maybe that's a lie too, that he is Homelander's dad. I think it might just be a way for him to just like jump ship and hop on a different team, kind of thing too. So,
Hmm.
but it's all theorizing,
Yeah,
theory.
yeah.
Just it's a theory. It's not it's not set in stone. But
Yeah.
what else? What else was interesting to you in this episode?
Um.
I mean, we can talk about the octopus again.
That was an interesting. I thought that was funny. Oh well, okay. So there's two. There's actually three things that I found interesting. That was a interesting shocker, but I think that's just for fun. Like
It's
I
the
see no
deep.
rhyme or reason.
He's just there for comic relief. I
Yeah,
feel like
yeah,
at this point.
exactly. He's just the comic relief. He's just the clown. Like, and I noticed that at the very end, when his human girlfriend left, he
His
calls the
human.
octopus babe. He
Wait, what?
calls the octopus babe.
Yeah,
Like, I'm not sure if you noticed that.
yeah.
Like where like the octopus is still here, and he's like, "Oh, it's all right, babe." So he doesn't call the human babe. He calls the octopus. And I was like, "Oh my god, like that was just interesting." Um, but with the heart transplant,
Yeah.
the heart transplant. If you remember, for
Yes, so it doesn't look like A Train's happy that they put Blue
yeah,
Hawk. Is that his name? Blue Hawk's heart.
I think it was Blue Hawk. And I thought about that one as well. Like, how would I feel? Which I would be furious, but like, I wouldn't like necessarily kill myself over it. But at the same time, I would feel bad. But then later, will he come to the realization like, hey, well, at least I'm using this evil guy's heart for good now.
Yeah.
Like, if he
Hmm.
uses like evil for good, or like what? Is he just gonna mope around about having
No,
a
I actually think he's gonna join Team Butcher. I'm just saying Team Butcher because that's like the
yeah.
anti Homelander team, I guess you can say. But I think he's gonna join them in the fight
Hmm.
because obviously there's gonna be a showdown at the end of the season. There has to be, and I think there's only one episode left. I think there's only 8 episodes this season, and
Oh,
I don't. I think the next episode's the final episode of the season. I don't know. I don't know. I should have looked that up before saying that, but yeah, it was it. I think A Train is gonna he's gonna get stronger now. For before he's been weak, right? Like even when
yeah.
he was fighting Starlight, he had like a heart attack when he was fighting her, and then yeah. So and then Veronica, is that the name of the politician?
Yeah,
Okay,
I
Veronica.
found
Yeah,
it interesting too. Like now she's helping Homelander.
yeah. And what do you think the address is to? His son.
Oh, is it?
I think so. I mean, I don't know what other address he would need. It's either to his son or to Ager or the guy that was in charge before, where he's at or whatever.
No, I think the son would make
Oh
more
yeah,
sense.
I honestly think it's the son, but
And that's an interesting thing too. This whole thing that happened with Butcher, because it shows the stemming of like how one generation influences the next. So
mm,
Butcher's dad influenced Butcher, and Butcher did to his brother.
yeah,
Like what his dad did to him, and then Butcher also did it to
Huey.
Homelander's
Oh
son.
yes. Hmm.
Well, you know, but like he just abandoned the kid. I think Butcher did that out of hurt, but I think that's gonna make Homelander's son even more
Mm,
like it's gonna stem him to be more closer to Homelander than to a Butcher.
yeah.
Like because of how Butcher.
Yeah, I totally see that.
And it's funny, it's very interesting because it's like, Butcher's supposed to be the good guy, and yet he might hurt more people than even not more people, but you know what I mean?
Well,
If,
which we saw, right? As soon as he got powers, he's violent. He's just as
yeah,
bad as Homelander. He's just as
exactly.
bad. And it's funny too, because like their personalities are the same when it comes to violence and stuff, and their powers are the same
The
too.
power's the
And
same.
so,
Yeah.
and it's like this Huey's kind of like a, not I want to say a chicken, but he's kind of a wimp. So maybe he can teleport to safety. That's like his power source and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's like everyone's like power source is connected to like personality and stuff like that. I'm guessing. I mean, even Starlight, right? She's like the star child. She's always in, the media and stuff like that. So,
Well,
we will see, right?
but Soldier Boy's power is interesting to me because
He's Captain America, basically.
yeah, but I mean, it's like, I don't know. They made such a big deal out of the dude, and like him and Black Noir, like, what's the difference?
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously he's stronger because he beat up Black Noir like nothing from what we saw from the cartoon.
Yeah.
But like, if they're just superhuman, like what makes them so different aside from his ability to singe Compound V out of somebody?
Yeah, and I think he got that power though through the testing that happened to him.
Mm.
I think he got that. That's like a new power that he didn't know he had. Or either it was awakened through the experiments they did on him, or it was something that they gave him through the testing and stuff like that. Because basically, he's Captain America and Winter Soldier at this point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Winter Soldier's captured and he's brainwashed, and this whole thing, and he comes back, he doesn't age, so that's really fun too. I love how they play on the superheroes we know too. Like we can connect almost every hero. Like Mind Storm is basically like a Professor X, with the mind powers. So it's like we can kind of connect stuff, even if you're not a comic book enthusiast, you can kind of connect basic comic book stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So I like that.
If you guys have any cool theories and stuff, please comment down below. If you like this episode, give it a thumbs up. And just a reminder, we have some really cool deep fakes of us deep faking DC characters onto the boys' characters. So we have like Henry Cavill as Homelander. We have Gal Gadot as Queen Maeve. And we have Jason Momoa as the Deep. We deep faked them. It was so much fun. They're so much fun to watch. Go watch, enjoy. They were great to watch. And thank you, Chris, so much for coming on. And we'll see you on the next AsArt. Sweet.